What's up everyone, this is Tranquil Toys. Today I'm taking a look at the new Mcfarlane toys fighting the frozen Batman, or Barbarian Batman, Caveman Batman, or Conan the Batman, whatever you want to call it. But I thought this figure looked cool, so I picked it up. It's kind of in that MOTU, Masters of the Universe He-Man aesthetic, which I like. So I picked it up for that reason, and also because I wanted to do some head swaps. I wanted to see what different heads would look on it, and I wanted to see what the figure would look with the cape off. So we'll get into those things later in the video. First, I just want to quickly go over the figure and the accessories that it came with. So first of all, it came with a comic, as is common with the Page Punchers line. It just came with a comic. If you want to see that, you can watch someone else's video. The comic is pretty useless to me. It's actually very useless to me. So is this card. Weapons, which are these caveman style weapons, which I'm not really a fan of. I prefer the actual metal looking weapons, swords and axes and things like that, like Masters of the Universe. I'm not really a big fan of these caveman looking weapons. I think they look kind of cheap, and I just don't like that style. But regardless, the figure is really well done. I like the sculpt, the detail, the different components of the costume. I feel like they pulled it off very well in this figure. Also, the musculature all over the figure is done pretty well. It might not be 100% accurate in some places, but I think it does pull off that comic look, that buff comic look. So that's cool. The fact that it's Batman does kind of lower the coolness factor, but like I said, I did buy it to do head swaps and to, you know, just mess around with it, put different parts on it, make it look like a different character, make it look like my own character, and that's pretty much the reason why I bought it. The articulation is pretty good. But actually, before I get into the articulation, it doesn't come with extra hands, which is kind of a huge letdown. That's really disappointing, actually, because this is a barbarian character. I would have liked fists and maybe grappling hands. That would have been really cool to see on this figure, because he is like a grappler, a brawler style character. He's a barbarian, but he comes with gripping hands for his weapons that aren't that cool. So I feel like that's really disappointing. But besides that, the articulation is really good. The sculpt doesn't hinder the articulation that much. It does in some areas, and especially in the leg area with the rubber underwear that they always use on these figures. So it makes his leg kick out. So it's not a real straight up kick. It goes out to the side. That's unfortunate. I could trim that down. I probably will trim this down just to get better range out of that. And surprisingly, he gets really good going back abdominal, but you can also see like in there, and that looks really weird. Like, I don't know why it gaps that much. So that's really weird, but he does get good range forward and back in the abdomen, so that's cool. He can do the splits, which is also pretty cool. The knees look pretty ugly, but you do get decent range. No boot swivel, which is unfortunate. That would have really helped this figure, especially when standing, because the feet are kind of messed up. So they're kind of rounded on the bottom. If you have the figure, you know what I'm talking about. So all of those things make it hard for the figure to stand up, but it does come with a stand, and that does help quite a bit with helping him stand. So the stands are useful. Everything else that it comes with, not so much. One of the questions that I had, you know, when looking at other reviews of this figure was, you know, how does the head come off? So one of the questions that I had when I would watch other reviews of this figure was, does the cape come off? Does the head come off? What does it look like under the cape? And so I'm going to answer that question in this video. So the head comes off. The ball joint is stuck to the head. If you want to remove that, you just have to heat it up and pull the joint out. And then I already went ahead and ripped the cape off. It was actually very easy because the glue was really dry, and it was like thin, dry glue, so it came off very easily. And here's what the figure looks like under the cape. So there is, you know, holes on the figure, on the back, on the shoulders, and on the back muscles back here and on the front of the chest. So that is kind of unfortunate, and that's usually what Mcfarlane does. I guess if you really wanted to, you could fill that up, but then that's a lot of work. That's a lot of stuff to fill in, and then you have to get rid of the rest of this plastic here. So I'm hoping I can find like a piece of armor to put over it. And actually the cape is pretty cool. I mean, it's as cool as it can be when it's a plastic cape, but the plastic is really soft. It's actually 2 parts here. So I guess if you wanted to remove the cape part and just have the fur part, that could be kind of cool actually. Let me try that. Yeah, so the glue is like really not very strong. So it's really easy to take that apart. So there's what that looks like without the cape, and it covers up all the holes. So that's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure about this bat symbol on the front, and even the mask comes off pretty easily. Like, I don't know, it's this glue that they're using. It's not very strong. It's kind of a cheap glue. And then if you have a different helmet, you can put that on there. Or if you have like a hood, maybe you can put that over the head or something. You can put this on a different head. I don't know. The gauntlets don't come off. The boots don't come off. This thing, you could rip it off, but there would be holes under it, like you see right there. So you have to deal with that. Same thing on the back too. So like I mentioned earlier, it has that Masters of the Universe He-Man vibe to it. So I was thinking, do the parts from the Masterverse line fit on this figure? So that's what I'm going to try to do. And here's what he looks like next to a He-Man figure. Alright, well I just had a problem with the figure now. And this really sucks. So the bicep just came out, and I guess it's supposed to stay there. Like it was glued there, I guess, but it just came off. So that really freaking sucks. Okay, I don't think all hope is lost. I might be able to fix that. This might be glued in there, so I guess if I can free that up, I can just glue that here, and then that will rotate in that socket. So the He-Man chest plate does fit on there actually pretty nicely. So that's pretty cool. It covers up most of the holes, but you can still see some of the paint from the cape that's still stuck there. Here's what He-Man's head. Man, that's really annoying, dude. That really sucks. And there's what the He-Man head looks like on the figure. Pretty cool. So that's pretty cool. And then if you wanted to put this on the He-Man body, you'd have to cut some of that extra plastic right there. I'm probably going to do that. So you can just put that on other figures. You can put the cape on that. And here's what that looks like. You know, if his hair was black, this would look like Vicor or Vicron. I guess that's what they're calling him now. And I just thought of this now, but you can put a different head on this, and I have a bald head. This is a Hitman head that I never finished painting. But you can put, I guess, pretty much any bald head you can put in there, just to make it look a little bit different. I guess if you had a bearded head, a bald guy with a beard, you could put that on there too. Here's the Bullseye head from the Daredevil 3-pack, Marvel Legends. And that also, that's actually pretty cool. I don't like how Bullseye head is painted. It looks like he has lipstick on. So that's kind of weird, but that doesn't look that bad. You just have to fix the lips and that would look a lot better. The Mandarin head from the Iron Man movie. And that doesn't look too bad either. Yeah, you can make it fit a lot better. Here's the original head. It's on the Hercules Marvel Legends body. That also looks pretty cool. A little bit big, but I think it does work. And here's what the original head looks like on the He-Man body. Pretty cool. That fits a lot better. Farmer Clark. And here he is holding a sword from Gridiron Studios. That's meant for Mythic Legions, but it works with any 7-inch figure. So that looks really cool. A lot better than the weapons that he came with. And here he is with He-Man's axe from the Masterverse line. Here's another axe from the Super Action stuff. I think it was with the Blood set. I think it was the first Blood set that they had. But it's a little bit smaller, but I think it still looks pretty cool with the figure. Here he is next to Skeletor. A little bit taller than Skeletor, but I think it still works. Here he is next to She-Ra. It's pretty cool. You know, they look like they're from the same universe, the same line. So I think that works out pretty well. Marvel Legends Captain America. A few more head swaps. Here he is with a 3D printed head for Mythic Legions. So I'm assuming you can put other Mythic Legions head on here as well. So I think that works out pretty well. It looks pretty cool. Skin tones don't match, but whatever. Here he is with the Hercules head from Marvel Legends. Barbarian Brock Lesnar. Here's the Wolverine head from the Logan movie. Way too small. And here he is with the Goldberg head. I think it would look a lot better with the neck peg in there. Here's a Punisher Frank Castle head. Here he is with the fat Thor head. That could look pretty cool. Okay, and the last thing I can think of right now, here he is with the, man, his arm keeps falling off. Here he is with the Masterverse Beastman fur chest plate. Wow. Let me know what you guys think about the different things you saw in this video. Let me know if there's any other customs you guys want to see. I'll probably post more stuff on my Instagram. You can follow me at TryandKillToys on Instagram. So to see more stuff with this figure. And yeah, just let me know your thoughts on the figure, on the review. And I'll see you guys in the next one.